Hey, guess what, Chewy? There's
What?
some problem. There's some problems around the country with some councils' infrastructure when it comes to water.
Only there had been some sort of option of a better way to do it that wasn't hijacked by a bunch of knuckle-dragging racist lick-spittles. Yeah, maybe. What have we got now? What's going on now?
I was thinking New Zealand's water infrastructure is falling behind the developed world.
Oh,
But
that's always good.
Yeah, but I was thinking we're going to have a little bit of a story now about drinking water. Maybe they could do something. They could centralize it to make it cheaper. They could incorporate, I think there's probably, there's at least 2 or maybe 3 kinds of waters that our houses use. There's the drinking water, there's the wastewater, there's the sewage. I mean, maybe you wouldn't call the sewage waters, but just because, to think up some kind of colloquial way to speak about it, you could talk about the 3 different kinds of waters, and a government could, spend a lot of time selling the message very badly, but showing to New Zealand how if we centralized it, we could make it much cheaper. But if you did that, you might get a bunch of racist rednecks try and convince the country that the bloody Maoris are going to take over the whole thing, and then no one do anything. And then stories start coming out about water contamination in New Zealand to hundreds of thousands of people that shouldn't be getting consumed by human beings. It's a bit of a crazy idea, but just as an aside, while we're thinking about that, let's watch this story, eh?
Across the country are struggling to meet clean drinking water requirements, as experts say standards here are falling behind other developed countries.
Yeah.
The water regulators ordered dozens of councils to install new filtering systems by June next year, but as Laura Frickberg reports...
Like, Chewy, ordering the councils to do it means that like each council has to go to a supplier and get the price for like just one interaction. Like if someone could come up with a way for maybe kind of ordering hundreds, if not thousands of these products to make them cheaper overall and disperse them to the councils. I wonder if anyone's thought of that.
If they have, we can't call it 3 waters. We'll have to call it Kiwi water or something, some dreadful name.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll just...
And then once it's set up, what we'll do is we'll sell it.
Yeah.
We'll sell it to some Chinese milk production thing or Nestle or something.
Yeah.
And that'll be good because we won't have any debt, but we won't own our water going into huge climate change. It's great. There's no downside.
All right.
Don't
all
look
right.
reports.
All right.
Many councils say it's too costly to do in such a short time frame.
A cleaner future under construction. A temporary UV systems being built at Queenstown's 2 Mile water treatment plant to prevent future outbreaks of disease. Eventually, all its plants will have protozoa barriers, UV light systems that destroy all bacteria.
So we're looking probably at the end of this financial year, roughly May, June 2024. Cost of that's about 9.4 million.
It's a cost 26 other councils will have to bear too. With the drinking water of more than 310,000 people at risk, they have until June of next year to make the upgrades.
We've been particularly concerned around the level of compliance and the risk that exists with those suppliers that don't meet this requirement for a protozoa barrier.
It was the 2016 Havelock North water and health crisis that shone a spotlight on our ageing water infrastructure, which according to one parasitologist lags behind other developed...
You got to say that's a great name for a job, isn't it? Parasitologist.
It sounds like they're a psychologist for parasites.
Maybe they do that too.
Like, how do you feel?
Maybe. I just also wonder about these guys saying there's not the time or the money to get it done by next June. Not to belabor the point, but I wonder about like if there was a bigger organization, like somewhere centralized, that could have taken that job off them, taken funding from lots of other places, sort of like we did when Christchurch had its earthquake, how we sort of, we took money from all over the country to help out Christchurch. Something like that as an idea to help these places that can't afford to pay for them from their ratepayers because there's not enough of them and because councils have let these systems go into ruin. I'm just spitballing here. I don't know if this would ever exist.
We've talked about this, Pat. It's like if you guys pay attention to your local body politics and you pay attention to the ratepayers groups that hold the debates and have the ear of the people running for council and are putting up the billboards, the number one issue is the rates are too high.
Yeah.
So everybody's trying to undercut it, and then there's nothing in the kitty for shit that matters. And pipes under the ground, not sexy. Don't see them. And it's one of those things of like, well, if nothing bad happens with your water, like, that's fine, but you can't campaign on you didn't get sick when I was mayor. Like, that's not something that, but well, yeah, I wasn't going to get sick anyway. It only happens when you did get sick from the water, and now we're sitting here with one of our biggest tourist draws as tourism winds up again, and everybody goes, well, I've been stuck in my own country during a fucking pandemic. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand. I'm going this time. I'm not putting it off again. And they arrive and we go, don't drink the water. Yeah, we pull our water out of the lake and we also dump our wastewater into the lake. It's a good system. Yeah, we knew it was bad, but we didn't want to pay the money.
Yeah.
So bring your own bottled water. Thanks.
Yeah,
from New Zealand.
Especially if you're coming from Fiji, because Fiji water is fantastic, apparently.
Countries.
New Zealand has one of the highest rates of cryptosporidium infections in humans. The ability to turn on your tap and drink water that isn't going to make you sick is I think, one of the things we can at least expect.
The Tasman District Council is one of those singled out by the regulator. Its mayor agrees the upgrade is needed, but says the deadline's too short.
It's a real headache. So there's not a disagreement over what we're trying to achieve. It's really the timing and how we get there.
But Taumata Arawai says the barriers have been a legal requirement for 9 years now. And if councils don't comply by the cut-off date or explain why they can't, they run the risk of prosecution. Laura Frickberg, One News.
There you go. As I'm talking to you, sorry, I'm on a different screen. That's why I wasn't quite quick enough to do that. I just thought I'd look up Tasman District Mayor and Three Waters. Tasman Mayor fears strings attached to Three Waters, better off funding. Concerns were raised, yada, yada, yada. You're effectively buying into Three Waters reform by accepting Tasman District Council Strategic Policy Manager Dwayne Fletcher told incredibly frustrating. There now seem to be quite significant strings attached to the funding. So yeah, sorry about that, Tasman. You guys seem to want to not go that way when you had an opportunity for all of us to contribute to yours. So suck it up, Buttercup. Hard on you.